Throughout history, music holds a cultural significance and evolved throughout time, from genres that were lively back in the day, such as the blues.
Now, when I was a young boy,
Country.
Never went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind.
Dance.
I've got the blues. I feel so lonely. I'd give the world if I could only.
Etc. Many subgenres came from it as years went on, revolutionizing the scene. People kept pushing and pushing for louder, more radical music that was just out of the norm at the time. Like the addition of subgenres. HR was one of these people. Paul D. Hudson, aka Human Rights, was born in Liverpool, England in 1965 to a Jamaican mother and a father in the U.S. Air Force that was at the time stationed in the UK. They then moved back to the U.S. when HR was a toddler and settled in Washington, D.C., where he was majorly gifted in the athletic field and competed in swimming and pole vaulting. He then joined the music scene as a teenager with his future bandmates Dr. No and Daryl Jennifer. He was the lead singer of Bad Brains, and he also played the bass and the guitar. Around 1979, HR and his bandmates found inspiration after going to a Bob Marley concert and became Rastafari. According to Indiana University, Rastafari represents an assumption of cultural and etymological agency by what postcolonial scholars, echoing Antonio Gramsci, call the subaltern. Simultaneously, it was uprising of people determined to be liberated from the obscurity of themselves. The religious realization kickstarted the band's experimental sound mixing reggae and punk, creating this type of sound that makes you just want to chill out, but also just makes you want to start thrashing at the same time. So it's like that nice mix that just conflicts you and it makes you like, whoa. They were also majorly inspired by the Clash and the Sex Pistols. Side note for those who don't know, reggae is this slower and more relaxed form of tempo using instruments like the piano and guitar offbeats derived from ska, jazz, blues, and rocksteady. Some examples of reggae artists are Bob Marley, Inner Circle,
Reggae music is live. Select the page of wise. Reggae music is live.
and Third World. While on the other hand, hardcore punk is loud and fast, the type of music that makes you want to power up, using that hard-edged melodies and fast-paced songs to get you going. Hardcore punk derives from normal punk, rock, and garage rock. Some examples of hardcore punk bands are Minor Threat, Black Flag, and Adolescent. In their early days, Bad Brains played basement shows while they came up. When Rob Kennedy, the person who arranged their first actual, club show, he said, quote, "They were faster than the Ramones. They could kick the Ramones' ass coming out the fucking gate." We could see that, and we knew that, because we'd seen the Ramones. A few months after the basement gig Rob Kennedy spectated, they played their first show supporting The Damned in the early 80s, and blew the crowd's mind with their sound, with their self-titled album, with hit tracks like Sailin' On, Banned in DC. And Big Takeover. This boosted their popularity even more, not to mention how they lined up with the Damned and Minor Threat. While they toured, they became temporarily homeless, so they set up a quick show in New York to get new fans and also get some money in their pockets. Several shows later, they had enough money to buy new gear and return to DC. But after they were banned from DC because of their loud and destructive fans, they moved back to New York permanently. Because New York just treated them better. After taking a religious turn to Rastafarianism, HR started to play straight reggae with less punk influence, with tracks like Jaw Calling, and Leaving Babylon.
Will I say?
Punk being mostly critical about religion, this turn was surprisingly not really talked about in the scene, and more widely accepted. After some hustle and hard work, they eventually became one of the kings of the hardcore scene, and prospered by making 9 studio albums and 4 EPs as a whole. They were even in multiple documentaries revolving around the hardcore scene, like American Hardcore of 2006, and the film Finding Joseph Funnn, the HR from the Bad Brains documentary of 2016. He also put out the word moshing to refer to people who danced violently, pushed and slammed into each other along with the music. Another reason why they revolutionized the scene is because they were the basically only African American driven band in a majorly white scene. So that change in pace for the scene was a huge thing, and it really helped, unite the scene more. Another, PC-ness. In 2012, after recording their final album, Into the Future, HR parted from the band to seek professional help after battling unknown mental illness for decades. "I don't want anyone to give up on me," said HR, hoping not to disappoint his fans for parting ways with the band, while also being stressed out for being in financial trouble. He also suffered from excruciating headaches, also known as SUNCT, SUNCT, a primary headache disorder that causes unbearable pain and nerve damage. In addition to this, he was later diagnosed with schizophrenia in 2013. "I have sharp, stabbing pain every couple minutes in my brain for a couple hours," HR tells Rolling Stone. "Then it goes away. Then it comes back." The pain was so severe he ended up spending most of his days curled up in his bed. He tried to get surgery to fix this problem, but instead of fixing it, it made things even worse and put HR into debt, forcing him to cancel his reunion tour of 2023. To bring this all together, Bad Brains was and is a band that revolutionized reggae and the hardcore scene. They were way ahead of their time and inspired many bands of different subgenres of music, like the following: Nirvana, Foo Fighters, Soundgarden, Rage Against the Machine, Deftones, Lamb of God, No Doubt, Jane's Addiction, and many more. Bad Brains' legacy will live on to inspire more and more bands and artists to come. My name's Brenda BR, and that was my Black History Research Project. All sources in the description.